welcome to today's leadership segment. I am your host, Inonge, a certified speaker, coach, and trainer with the John Maxwell team. And because of the team that I actually belong to, all the content that I share on the leadership segments is actually based on teachings from John C. Maxwell. So somebody may be asking to say, okay, Inonge, I hear you're a John Maxwell team member. Who is John? So John C. Maxwell is actually a renowned pastor, speaker, and author of over 77 books dedicated to leadership. He's actually been writing these books for over 40 years. So I can bet you that the content that is being shared in our leadership segments is content that is really going to help you and I as we grow. Every one of us is a leader. You are a leader, I am a leader. Sometimes we tend to lead even without knowing, because there are people that do not come up to us and say, you know what, I am following you. There are people that actually follow you in secret. So you can be a leader consciously or unconsciously. So in whatever you do, it's best to be equipped as a leader. We have children that look up to us. We have neighbors that look up to us. And because wherever we are, at whatever point we are in life, there is always somebody that has it worse than we do. So that makes us a leader. So to begin today's leadership segment, I am going to be drawing our lesson from a book that is titled, Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. It is a book by John C. Maxwell. And on today's leadership segment, we'll actually be looking at improvement. Improvement. I am pretty much sure you and I want our lives to improve for the better. So today we're going to be looking at improvement. And the goal for today's leadership segment is for us to, make improvement intentional. Our goal is for us to make improvement intentional. Improvement is within the reach of anyone, no matter how experienced or green, educated or ignorant, rich or poor. So at this point, I would love to ask everyone that's actually tuned in to say, do you really want to improve your life? And how soon do you want to improve your life? How soon do you want to improve your life? When you look at your life today, are you at a place in your life where you feel, okay, this is it, this is the best I can ever be? Or do you aspire to improve your life? I guess the answer to that question is yes. And I guess most of us are saying, you know what? I would really love to begin to improve my life today. Improvement, as I articulated earlier on, that the goal of today's leadership segment is for us to be intentional about our improvement. So in today's segment, there are three things. There are three things that I'm going to be sharing with you. Three things that can help you and I to begin to improve today. You see, you and I are intentional about growth. We are not going to procrastinate about growing, so we're going to start today. So the three things that you and I need to do in order for us to begin to improve today. So the first thing that we're going to share, or we're going to discuss, is the first thing that you need to do if you're going to start to improve today is actually to decide. Decide you are worth improving. Decide you are worth improving. So to improve yourself, you must believe you can improve. You've got to believe that you can improve. In a nutshell, what I'm really trying to bring forth is self-development. You should believe that you yourself are capable, of developing. So somebody may be asking to say, you know what, I keep on hearing the term self-development. Inonge, what is self-development? I will begin by defining self-development based on a definition that Dennis gave, and I think it's one of the best definitions that I've heard concerning self-development. So, self-development or personal development is the belief that you are worth the effort, time, and energy needed to develop yourself. It gives you the permission to invest in yourself so you can develop your potential. That is what self-development is. I want you and I to intentionally be steered up towards self-development. You see, most times we base improvement on another person's result, on where another person is. But I want to let you know that it is very important that we base improvement on ourselves and not somebody else. You and I don't need anyone's dream but our own. You don't need to become anyone other than yourself at your best. You see, I love what a philosopher Thomas once wrote, and he said, let each person become all that he was created capable of being. Allow me to repeat that statement once more. He said, let each become all that he was created capable of being. You see, I really can't think of anything like a better definition of success than one becoming what they were created capable of becoming. You see, life challenges us every day to develop our capacities. It challenges us every day to develop our capabilities to the fullest. We are successful when we reach for the highest that's within us. I hope you caught that point. We are successful when we reach for the highest that's within us, when we give the best we have. You see, life does not require for us to always come out on the top, but it asks only that we do our best to improve at whatever level of experience we currently are. You see, a lot of people think that in order for them to be marked as successful, they have to be on top. But what we forget is that people are wired differently and people have different components that make them. People have got different talents, people have got different gifts. So the best way to measure success is based on the capabilities that are within you. If you and I are going to improve, we need to decide that you and I are actually worth improving. We need to make a personal decision to develop ourselves, not based on what somebody else has, but based on the capacity, on the capabilities, on the gifts and talents, on the potential that God has given you and I. So the second thing that we need to do if we are going to improve starting today is that we need to pick an area of improvement. You and I need to pick an area of improvement. You see, most of us, we either want to improve nothing or we are so impatient to become all that we can that we try to improve all that we are at the same time. most of the time what happens is that we either don't want to improve, or we're just going to try and improve all that we are, at the same time. Those are both mistakes. We need to focus. We really need to focus. If we're going to improve starting today, we need to focus. You see, there's a piece of advice that a psychologist by the name of William Jones gave. And his piece of advice said, if you will be rich, you will be rich. If you will be good, you will be good. If you will be learned, you will be learned. But wish for one thing exclusively. And don't at the same time wish for 100 other incapable things. Permit me to go and go back to this statement. He said, if you would be good, you will be good. If you will be learned, you will be learned. But wish for one thing exclusively, and don't at the same time wish for 100 other incapable things just as strongly. You see, focus at one area now that makes the most of your strength and is closest to your sense of purpose. You see, most of the times we want to focus on many things that are actually not related. If we focus on many things that are actually not related, there is a tendency, and usually the outcome is that we don't get anything achieved. Jack of all trades, master of none. If you and I are going to improve, we need to focus on an area that we're going to improve. And if you and I are really going to fulfill our destinies, that area that we need to focus, that area that we need to really focus on, it should be an area that revolves around our strength. It should be an area that is related to our purpose on earth. Because believe you me and you, we both have a purpose that we are serving on earth. So if we're going to choose an area that we're going to focus on, whatever it is that we're going to be doing, it should be compatible with our purpose on earth. So the third, last and not the least thing that we need to do if we're going to improve starting today is that we must find opportunities to improve in the work of our losses. Find opportunities to improve in the work of our losses. I talked about focus. And yes, focused, strategic improvement is important to success, but so is learning from our losses as they come. Whether you and I like it, at one point or another, we are going to encounter a loss. So it's very, very much important that we find opportunities to improve in the work of our losses. You see, some lessons in life, they can't wait. They simply can't wait. You must make the most out of them when they occur. If you don't examine what went wrong while the details are fresh, you may lose the ability to learn the lesson. Besides, if you neglect to learn the lesson immediately, you may experience the loss again. We are what we are today because we are what we were yesterday. And our thoughts today determine our actions tomorrow. You see, knowledge may come from studying, but wisdom comes from learning and improving in the work of our mistakes. What will greatly assist us is if we do what John said really assisted him. He says, John remembers that he's a work in progress. So you and I, if we're really going to improve in our lives, we need to remember that we are a work in progress. When we maintain that perspective, we will realize that we don't have to be perfect. We don't need to try to have all the answers. You know, when we make a mistake, it's not because we are failures or worthless. We just did not do something right because we still haven't improved enough in some part of the process. You see, the thing is, if I didn't know something, or if I don't know something, it basically serves as an opportunity to try to improve in a new area. You know, I just love what an industrialist said, an industrialist by the name of Ian. He said, I work on the same principle as people who train horses. You know, you start with low fences, easily achieve goals, and work up. So whenever I start something, my fences are usually embarrassingly low, but in time, I will be able to raise my fences. And today I'm rising little by little. You see, that's the only way I know how to keep improving. And I always want to keep doing that because improvement is the focus of learning. Improvement is the focus of learning. So guys, I hope that from today's leadership segment, you have picked at least all the three, not even one, not even two, but all the three things that you and I need to do in order for us to begin to improve on what we are getting out of our lives today. You see, where you are and where I am is not the best place that we were destined to be. There are greater heights. If we look up in whatever field that we are actually participating in, there are people that have gone ahead of us, meaning there is room for growth, there is room for improvement. Let us not be too comfortable where we are.